Hey guys, Dr. Joel Glenn-Wixon here with 7 Billion Geniuses, and I'm a bit of a rush now because I'm a little stressed out because I didn't film my video and yesterday, and that's what we're talking about today is stress. The idea that I'm stressed out because I didn't do my video yesterday because I decided to spend the whole morning busking, actually not the whole morning, the whole afternoon busking, which was a blast, is part of this mythology of stress, being stressed out. In fact, I could bet that you are so familiar with this idea of being stressed out that it doesn't even occur to you that there's anything wrong with that idea. There in fact is. And the notion that stress is just inherently a part of our life, that is a mythology. Now, stress means many things. And when you say that stress is a part of life, it really depends on what you mean. My family and I were out in Estes Park in Colorado one year, and the rangers were very interested in showing us how the caribou had been eating the bark off the aspen trees and girdling the trees, which means to take the bark off all the way around the tree. And they said that the reason why they were able to do this is because they weren't stressed, that the caribou weren't stressed. Now let me tell you what that means, what that meant to the rangers. When a ranger talks about a caribou not being stressed, they're not talking about them not having enough appointments during the day. They're talking about the fact that there's no predators. So what happens is, when a caribou, which is a prey species, sort of, that's kind of a weird term, but you know what I mean by, I'm hoping you know what I mean by that. When a caribou doesn't have a predator, they're eating the trees, eating the trees, eating the trees, eating the trees. They never stop because they don't have any reason to. A caribou being stressed means a caribou going, eating the tree. Is there a predator around? Nope. Eating the tree. Is there a predator around? Nope. Eating the tree. Is there a predator around? That process. That is a stressed caribou. That is an okay thing. Now, it's my suspicion that that is not your experience of being stressed. When we are stressed in this culture, we're, oh my God, I got to pay the taxes. Oh my God, I got to pay the bills. Oh my God, is there enough gas in my car? And there's always something. So we're perpetually in this state of being stressed. We're perpetually in this place of being, The difference between us and the caribou is when the caribou's going, is there a predator around? No. It's that no place. There's a no place. There's a no predator around place. I talk about it in the book as there's a no bear place. There's a place where we're calm, where we're just experiencing the fact that there's nothing that I need to worry about. Like these birds in this tree right here. I don't know if you can see that bird in that tree, but that is a not stressed bird. The reason why that bird's not stressed is because that bird's not worried about me. The bird's gone now. That bird's out living its life, not concerned about me, paying attention. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but if you're outside and there's a hawk flying around, you won't hear the birds singing because they're wondering what that hawk's gonna do. But then what happens? As soon as that hawk flies away, the birds start singing again. So the concept of stress for everyone other than us, the other animal species other than us, is that there is stress and then there isn't any. And this is what we need to build back into our lives. And this is what I talk about in the book, and I give you a variety of different ways of learning how to do that. But what's important is to no longer consider the idea of stress as just inherently a part of our lives. It's not. It's something that's supposed to be a response to a specific situation. And when that situation's not happening, we're supposed to be calm and peaceful and in a place of kind of just experiencing life. So, back briefly again, the mythology that stress is just inherently a part of life. It depends on what you mean by that. If you mean what it means to a caribou, that's one thing. If you mean that you're just stressed out all the time and that's supposed to be okay, that's what I'm standing up against today. I'll tell you something, breath work is one of the most important things you can do in the face of this kind of stress. Most useful and effective things that you can do. I talk about it in the book, but there's millions of other resources to talk about breath work and yoga practice or whatever it happens to be. Diaphragmatic breathing, there's a million different ways to talk about it. Very important part of my life, and I encourage you to take up a breath practice if you haven't done so yet. So anyway, that's it for today. 7 Billion Geniuses, all my contact information's at the end of the video. Please subscribe if you can, if you will, and be in touch and stay in touch, and I'll talk to you next week.